No, I'm good. I feel like I was spoiled rotten.
Trust me, it's just the beginning.
What makes a great villain? I don't know, a load of things. I mean, they don't have to have a backstory, but it's nice if there is some kind of question mark. If you feel somewhat for a villain, if you kind of can find yourself almost in moments of sympathy, which is never about justification. It's just a human reaction, of course. That's always interesting. Then again, there's villains like Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men, who I didn't feel any sympathy for him, but my God, he was extraordinary in the film and so magnetic and terrifying and did so little. So, you know, all shapes and forms. I mean, Dracula, Gary Oldman, my old pal Dracula, you know, Coppola's Dracula. Is Dracula a villain? See, we don't know because there's a certain sorrow there and it's love that pulls him through the centuries in that search for Madame Mina. So, I don't know, villains are fun, man. Yeah, influences on this, none that I drew from directly, like consciously, but that's not saying a whole lot because of how we obviously function from the unconscious in very profound ways. So that being said, all the names that I've heard thrown at me from, and I'm not comparing myself to any of these, I want to be clear, but from Sopranos to Untouchables and De Niro and Al Capone and this and that and the other, it all makes sense to me because I've seen all those works and they're all part of my hard drive as a lover of story and film. You draw from everything you ever see or hear, you know, it all goes onto your hard drive, as I say, and then it comes out through whatever way the writing you're presented with provokes your imagination, you know. The makeup did play a huge part of it. Yeah, when I saw Mike Marino's design for Oz, when I saw it for the first time, literally the first brown clay sculpt, it was just he'd gotten a cast of my head and then he'd gotten a scalpel and a toothpick and he had done his wizardry and then he came out with this whole existing creature that when you looked at him, he had a sense of history, he had a sense of pain, he had a sense of tragedy to him, there was a boldness, there was a cruelty, there was also kind of a bit of a sorrow somewhere there. So it really, the prosthetics really spoke to me before I even put them on. And then putting them on, it was just kind of a really grandiose permission for your imagination to run amok, you know.
In the Batman also had like a fairly small part. You've said that you wanted more and now you got more with the Penguin, so do you still want even more?
No, I'm good. I feel like I was spoiled rotten by having the 8 hours, the 6 months we had on this. I mean, I don't know, I'd be open to, yeah. I think Matt said the Penguin's going to feature in the second film. How much, I don't know, I haven't seen the script. And this was always meant to be a limited series of 8 hours, so I don't know, I had a blast doing it. It was, there's definitely, yeah, I mean, he's a really, as he was drawn, as he was written, he's a really rich character, man. There's so much fun to be had with him. And darkness. Favorite moment from filming the Penguin moment. There was a moment when we were going on, when we were stood down, when the production had to stop. I can't remember if it was the actors' strike or the writers' strike. It was the writers. We thought we were going to be able to continue because Lauren LaFranc and her team of writers had completed all the scripts before the 12 o'clock when the strike actually happened. The scripts were done, the pens were put down. I can guarantee that because I saw the scripts. And so we thought we would be able to continue shooting, and we were picketed, understandably, and it became unfeasible, so we had to stop. And it was a bit of a weird one to say my favourite moment, but there was something about the collective, the night that we knew that everyone was going home, everyone was stepping into unemployment, and the crew didn't know, none of us knew, but the crew were incredibly concerned about would we get back to work, when we get back to work, and there was just an extraordinary amount of solidarity, which is nothing to do with the drama of the show that we were trying to make, but there was something really powerful about the solidarity and about the coming together that was such a significant part of the making of this show that was really moving and kind of stayed with me, you know. But as far as moments in the show, favourite moments, I don't know. I loved working with it. I loved working with Kristen. I loved working with Renzi, who played Vic. But I had a soft spot for working with Dee Dee, who played my mother, Frances. I think maybe because the scenes with her are the scenes where Oz is at his most vulnerable and potentially most tender, you know.